10 missed marketing opportunities to leverage in 2025. This one seems like it'll be juicy.
Yeah, let's go over it. I'll come up with 5. I already have a lot of ideas and I know you do too. One of the missed opportunities that people and companies should leverage is transcribing their video content through tools like HeyGen. So we do it for Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. We'll take my video content, the stuff that hits, and we'll transcribe it. If you have team members in these regions, we then send them the content. We let them post it on their social channels because their followers are within that region. It doesn't get as much traction as me posting it from my profile, but over time, we're seeing it drive brand awareness and leads.
That's good. The next one I'm going to go with is live shopping. So it took a while for America to catch on, but China's been doing live shopping for a long time and it's worked really well. I think this past holiday break, we're seeing a lot more of it. You see it on Amazon as well. I think we're going to see a lot more of it. So it's time to start adapting. This is one of those things where it's like, if you wait too long, you're going to be behind. So you might as well start getting into it and looking at it now.
Yeah. Number 3, AI is really popular, but when you look at content marketing, people use AI in a really inefficient way. A more efficient way to do it is look at your website traffic and see what language you get majority of your traffic from. Chances are it's one language like English. If you optimize for all the other languages where you're getting visitors from, because you can see all the countries that are driving traffic, you can drastically increase your traffic by just using AI to translate and transcribe your content, have a human review it, use hreflang, and then build links locally within that region. And what you'll find is whatever language you're in currently, over time, if you do it right, less than 30% of your traffic will be in your current language. 70+% will be from the expansion. So in other words, your traffic should start exploding.
This is number 4. We haven't done an episode like this in probably over a year.
Yeah.
So I would say attribution's a big one, right? So when you think about B2B, for example, you might use a product like Hockey Stack. So Hockey Stack will show you how your different channels are influencing the other ones, right? So it shows you, I think they had a metric here where they said dark social actually affects 36% of conversions. So they have a lot of that data, right? So you can use Hockey Stack. Another one you can use is House, Haus. That's more for e-commerce, or you can call it mixed media modeling, that type of stuff, right? So I think attribution is a big one. I think a lot more people are going to start paying for these products. So that would be number 4.
Number 5, turning on YouTube ads. I'm not saying that YouTube ads will help you get more YouTube traffic, but when you look at your ads on YouTube, you can start seeing the CPMs. The content that creates higher CPMs usually means you're going after a better audience. It'll give you a direction on which videos are going after a better quality of consumers or buyers, whether you're B2B or B2C. And this will give you direction on what kind of videos to create more of and which ones to produce less of. Because if you're creating videos that are really popular, but they get really terrible CPMs, or even if they're not popular, they just get really terrible CPMs, you know that those people are going to be harder to monetize. So you want to create content that has much higher CPMs because that'll tell you that, hey, there's much more money to be made.
Number 6, this one's a quick one, but if you think about optimizing for large language models, so LLMO or GEO, generative engine optimization, ChatGPT pulls its search results from Bing. Perplexity pulls it from Google. Interestingly enough, I don't know if you saw me post this to Instagram, but I was like, what's the best marketing podcast on Gemini? The marketing school. I shows our pictures on there, right? I asked Perplexity, marketing school. I asked Claude, marketing school. ChatGPT, nowhere to be found. Right? we used to be found, but it's marketing against the grain now. And so I have to wonder, I wonder if all the other LLMs are pulling from Google, and then you have ChatGPT who's pulling from Bing, right?
Yes.
But my point of saying this is that number 6 is to optimize for Bing, because ChatGPT is, at least for right now, they had 50% market shares in the LLMs. Now it's down to 33%. Like, damn, that changed quickly, but they're still the big player. So when you're optimizing for search engines, don't forget about Bing for now.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people really do forget about optimizing for Bing. And if you look at ChatGPT, they are pulling heavily from Bing from everything that we see.
By the way, Grok 2 also lists marketing school as number 1, guys.
I love it.
Yeah.
What are we on? Number 7?
Yeah.
Number 7, most people send emails, and when they're sending transactional emails, they drive people to a landing page. You can use a tool called Zaymo, I believe it is, Zaymo.
Yep, like Waymo.
But Waymo, but with a Z. And what it allows you to do is it uses the AMP technology to showcase your products or services, whatever you're selling that people can buy online through the email, like literally in Gmail or Outlook. They can click a button, they can select the size, they can select the quantity, they can check out without going to your webpage and literally just buy right then and there within email. It boosts conversions from what we've seen. The deliverability from what we've tested isn't as good as just sending HTML emails, but the increase in conversions from the revenue makes up for the decrease in deliverability.
Yep. Number 8, leverage first-party data if you can. You can always, first-party data, if you have a lot of data, for example, Hockey Stack, they publish a lot of case studies around, different attribution models, right? Or what tends to work. And or you can also survey your audience too, which I guess you can call that first party data too. Neil actually does a good job of this with his X posts. The ones I've been reading mostly now, they're like, it's interesting stuff. It's like, what are the most profitable content channels, for example? How long does it take to be profitable there? Or I find that actually has utility, and that might not get enough the reach that you want. It might not go viral, but at the end of the day, you have the right people that are looking at it.
Totally agree. And that's what we're seeing with our content, in which when we get really focused and share data that we have, it doesn't get as much engagement as me talking about, how Starbucks is reducing their menu and people are going to be pissed off. But the charts really do get us, from what we're seeing, brand awareness with our right type of audience. And that caused me to go to number 9. I've been doing this a lot in 2024, more towards the latter half of 2024. We're doing this heavily in 2025. We've seen, if you look at my personal social media profile on Instagram, at least the last week or the last 2 weeks, even if you go back a little bit, my images do better than my videos. And what we're finding on a lot of social channels, including like TikTok, they want people to push out more images, but they're not. They're focusing, most people want to focus on videos, short form videos particularly. And we're seeing the social algorithms give you a lot of love if you publish images. And I think that's a huge missed opportunity. They're easier to create, especially if you're using AI. Like, my team will take all the data that we have, that our tools spit out, that our researchers do, and have like ChatGPT or one of these tools help us out with creating charts from the data. Or even dissecting the data and finding opportunities from it. If it wasn't for AI, we would not be able to crank out the amount of research pieces that we're doing on a weekly basis.
Yep. Number 10, speaking of using AI to crank things out, I've used it for, I've mentioned this, I use Claude, I use ChatGPT, I use the ChatGPT 01 model. The Claude has the 3.5 sonnet, I believe. But just putting in, let's say I want help with a marketing campaign, for example, or even a couple of days ago, I was like, hey, in marketing, there's impact, confidence, ease. That helps you prioritize the projects that you want to run or the tests that you want to run. And it came up with a new model. I worked together on this. It's like, impact, confidence, ease is great. And what I mean by that is you score an idea 1 through 10, 10 being highest on the impact you think it'll make, the confidence that you have in that idea, and the ease, right? But I'm like, something's missing there. I'm like, okay, we should add reach. So we added in reach. That's a multiplier, right? Reach is like, that's kind of common in marketing. But then we also added alignment, because you might have one goal that you're trying to work towards. But the problem with marketing teams is everyone comes up with all these random ideas.
Yep.
But if you added alignment plus reach multiplied by the other 3 added up, that's where you get a real score, right? And so, but I wouldn't have done that if I didn't have ChatGPT with it. And then it does good with making charts as well. It does good with, by the way, if I looked at a video from, I think it was the Alex Ramosi video. It was the one where he was talking about social channels, but I forgot how he scored the channels, right? So I pulled up Notebook LM, the Google tool. I dumped in the link there, and then literally it just gave me all the scores in like a span of like 20 seconds or so. So when it comes to research and things like that, I think the missed opportunity here is not leveraging AI enough, because what AI is actually doing is it's augmenting our intelligence. For sure, it's made me smarter. It's made you smarter too. Yeah. And so I think people that aren't looking at that stuff now are the ones that are really going to be behind. All right, so I wanted to take a moment to tell you about my podcast co-host Neil's agency called NP Digital, and they work with a whole host of global companies or a global organization. Also, Neil has SEO tools such as Ubersuggest and Answer to Public. All you have to do is go to npdigital.com to learn more, and we'll see you on the other side.
And when I think about AI making me smarter, for me, It helps with research and just knowledge consumption. But overall, I think I'm getting dumber over time because my memory's fading compared to when I was much younger. I was much sharper. But the big thing that I've noticed with AI is it makes me way more efficient. And if I didn't have AI, I would have to hire way more people to help me with this kind of stuff. And in reality, we just wouldn't do a lot of the stuff. But because of AI, we're cranking out more. And I think that's where businesses get it wrong. It's not about using AI to save money. It's about using AI to do more with the same money that you're spending so you can get better results and grow faster. And I know we said that we're only going to give 10, but I'll throw in a bonus, number 11. I've been playing a lot with this over the weekend because I've been bored. I've been doing, so when you're doing Instagram and Facebook, you can end up collecting leads through them. But what most people don't do in B2B is if a lead's qualified, you can end up popping up like a Calendly and have them schedule a call so they don't have to go to your website. I don't have data yet. I know it is much cheaper than sending them to a website and collecting a lead and getting a scheduled call. But I don't have data yet on the conversions because no salesperson wants to work right now.
Wait. You're sending a link to...
Okay, so when you run Facebook ads, let's say you're collecting a lead in B2B, most people want to send them to a website because the quality's better. And I get that. And they also believe that if you send them to a website, it's better because then you can pre-qualify, and the ones that are qualified, show them a Calendly link or whatever tool that you're using, like Chili Piper or Hot Piper. I don't know what the names of all of them are.
Oh, Chili Piper's right.
Yeah. And what I had a developer do is make it so I can run a Facebook ad or Instagram ad with their forms. And then if they're qualified, show them the Calendly or the Chili Piper or whatever you want to call it. So they can schedule a call right then and there without having to go to your website.
That's great. Well, let's see what happens there.
And the cost per lead is significantly lower. It's like 2.4, 2.5 times cheaper, somewhere in that range. I need more data as I scale up. But I don't know what the conversion is to actually a close.
This is actually, this could be 11B over here. So what Neil's done, this is kind of the side effect here. If you're a founder who actually knows marketing, it's in your best interest to be involved with the marketing because it's going to move a lot faster. Anytime I've gotten too disconnected from it, things just move a lot slower and then people kind of just like look around. You've got to inject that founder mode into your marketing. So that's it for today, guys. Please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe. And don't forget to check out marketingschool.io/agency if you want to grow your agency faster. And we'll see you tomorrow.